Womin Djeka, hello guys. My name is Kalkani. I am a Gidamay Google Yalanji Kalkadoon Pita Pita Kanju woman from far north Queensland. I would like to pay my respects to the custodians past, present and future of the Kulin nations whose land we stand on today. So I'm going to take you through a little part of the gardens here known as the Australian Forest Walk. The Forest Walk takes us along the eastern coastline of Australia from Tasmania to far north Queensland. Behind me here we have our saw Banksia, nicknamed the Old Man Banksia. Now the reason why she gets her name Old Man Banksia is because we say when her flowers here, when they dry out, they look like the beards on old men. When these flowers are really nice and fresh, she holds a lot of nectar. With that nectar, I can mix it with fresh water. It sort of acts like a cordial drink. I drink that cordial, it gives me energy as I'm hunting or gathering. When they dry out like these ones have here today, a lot of the southeastern regions of Australia, women will use it as a brush for their hair. Next to us here we have our blue flax lily, also known as our Dianella. She has a really beautiful leaf on her. That leaf, if you touch the sides here, it has sort of a jagged edge. So in the bush, these plants here are known as our child mining plants. So if our children are lost in the bush, we tell them, sit amongst the Dianella here. Those jagged edges on the leaves here, they'll protect you from snakes. Snakes don't like to slither through. Another thing we tell our children here is if they blow into the leaves of the Dianella here, the sound that it creates makes a really nice whistle. That whistle will scare snakes away. Now that whistle there doesn't actually scare snakes away, but if you're a child lost in the bush and your parents are on the other side of the bush, they will listen out for this whistle here and they will follow the whistle as you're calling. The tree here behind me is one of my favourite trees, the lemon myrtle. The reason why she's one of my favourites is because of what she can do for us. She's a medicinal plant, so if you have a sore throat or a sore gum, you can collect these leaves here, chew on them and they'll help relieve your aching mouth. If your head's feeling a little bit stuffy, grab some of these leaves, about 5, put them in a pot of boiling water, chuck a towel over your head, inhale the steam that rises off of that water. It will help clear your head. Now if you like cooking, you can cut them up like a herb, put it over whatever you're cooking. If you're in my region in far north Queensland where we have a lot more of the stew and the curry cuisines, we use the whole leaf like a bay leaf and we just infuse it as we cook it. This tree just behind me here is our red ash. Now the red ash is actually from my country in far north Queensland, so I'm very familiar with this one. This one here we would use generally when we're camping. So if I grab a branch from the red ash here, I go to a small body of water, slap that branch on top of the water. When I slap it on that water, it produces a really nice thick foam. Now that foam extracts the oxygen, takes out the oxygen from the water. The fish can't breathe, they float to the top. I throw my net over them and I drag them in for everybody to eat. Another thing I will do with these leaves if I don't want to use a commercial soap in my water systems is I'm going to use this as a natural soap. So what I do, I collect these leaves here, I crush them in the palms of my hands, I add some fresh water and then I mix it in the palms of my hands to make a really nice sap. And that's how we make soap. This tree next to me is our fig tree. Now the fig is one of my favorites because she reminds me of my home. Now if you know the fig, you know that she does produce an edible inside out cluster of flowers. If you don't like figs, wait until nightfall. Fruit bats love this tree. If you're around my area, far north Queensland and our surrounding areas, we tend to eat fruit bats. Now the reason why we eat fruit bats is not so much because of the taste, but because of its medicinal properties. So if your children suffer from things like asthma, we feed you fruit bat soup to help cure your asthma. This tree behind me here is our giant stinging tree, also known as Gympie Gympie. She has a really nice, beautiful, broad love heart shaped leaf. She has a coating of fine white hair. That white hair, if we brush past it, it will attach itself to you. Once it attaches itself to you, it starts to sting. She is known as the lifelong stinger. Generally, if people have it for a longer period of time, anytime your body temperature changes, that sting will reignite. However, it does become a little bit more manageable as the years or days go by. Well, now that you know a little bit more about our Indigenous plants, feel free to come and visit me at the Royal Botanic Gardens, Victoria, and I'll teach you a lot more about some of our other plants that we have in the gardens.